I'm sorry, don't come any further, please. I'm just so freaked out about the whole gun thing, and I'm just really scared. Can you just, like, prove to me right now that you don't have a gun?
I don't want you to reach in your pocket.
Can you reach him?
What pocket is it?
Hey guys, where is it? He's got his weapons are in the trunk.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we are going to be continuing our trend of these Hansen versus Predator videos. Today's guest has got to be actually the most potentially dangerous predator that has been caught on this show. Let's just say this guy came prepared with multiple things that hopefully led to him getting a much larger sentence in jail, but I don't know the ending yet, so make sure you watch until the very end with me if you want to see the conclusion to this insane sting operation. But without any further ado, let's just get into it. I do want to preface this by saying in the intro here, Chris Hansen says that they already had knowledge that this guy was in possession of a handgun and could have possibly brought it with him. In fact, chances are he definitely brought it with him. So they were super sketched out in the beginning, and you're going to see that here with the way the decoy is acting. I have to give props to this decoy. That had to have been absolutely terrifying to be literally the middleman of this sting operation, knowing this guy might be strapped right now. Anyways, let's get into it.
I'm sorry, don't come any further, please. I'm just so freaked out about the whole gun thing after today, and I'm just really scared. Can you just, like, prove to me right now that you don't have a gun? Can you turn around?
So yeah, it starts off with this decoy freaking out, saying that she needs to verify that he doesn't have a gun, and he shows that he doesn't have one on him. But still, I mean, how clear is that? If someone lifts up their sweatshirt, bro could have one like in his boot or something, like a little cowboy. So that's still absolutely terrifying, and it looks like they have Chris Hansen waiting right around the corner. But you're gonna see, this is an entire struggle of getting this guy into the house. This dude is so sketchy that he is just not willing to step foot into this house. Maybe he recognizes the outside and is like, yep, I'm about to get arrested by Chris Hansen and co. So maybe I just shouldn't step inside, and I should really try to get this decoy to come out with me into my car, which is just so terrifying that was his goal.
You want to go?
Can you just, like, come in and we can chat for a little bit? I feel really weird about just, like, piecing it out of here right now.
I can come right there and chat. I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
So just to show that this dude is even creepier than imagined, his first play, like I was saying, is trying to get the decoy to come with him into his car to go God knows where. And of course that's not going to happen, because the whole point of this operation is to have them walk into this studio lit fake house so that, you know, Chris can do the reveal and then they haul him away the normal way. They're not going to risk allowing the decoy to go away with this man, because dude might just try to take her, you know, to another country or something, or out into the woods. And I know I just said this, but I am just nothing but stressed for this decoy. I hope she got a nice bonus for this episode, because she had to put in much more work than normal here.
What if I took you to an empty parking lot and thought you were driving?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Would you like that?
I don't know. What if I crash your car, though?
It's a parking lot. There's gonna be nothing there.
And it's another couple minutes of him just trying to wrestle with this decoy and get her to come outside with him. He's like, let's go on a walk. No, actually, let's go get something to eat. Or we can just go literally anywhere else but this house. Can you please come outside with me? I promise no harm will be done to you. Like, this dude is just terrible. He's so aggressive with this stuff, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just, you know, cancel the whole sham. But again, they don't know if he is actually armed still at this point, even though there was the visual check here. It's in the dark and it's raining, so anything could happen. I'm sure they're not wanting to escalate and have things pop off. You know, that would be the worst case scenario. So instead, they're just going through the motions and really trying to get this guy into the house, but it's not looking like it's working.
I'm sorry, I feel so bad. I like came all the way over.
Okay.
Stephen, I'm gonna need to talk to you for a minute. This man. Come on.
Wait. What? I'm so confused now. What is going on? So this was the weirdest reveal. You know, the last one where the guy was in the bathroom, that takes the cake for the funniest reveal, but the weirdest one has got to be this. They could not get this guy into the house, so finally Chris was like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna take this matter into my own hands. Just peeks around the door and is like, hey, could you come in? I want to have a talk with you. And instead of doing what most people would do, which is turn around and run away, now this guy is finally submissive and is like, okay, yep, I'm stepping foot right into this house. I know I was just, you know, denying doing that with that decoy that I thought was 13 for about 5 minutes before this, but nope, now I'm definitely going to come into the house. Like, why was Chris Hansen the deciding factor for you, man? But good thing, because now we're about to see the most awkward part, which is the reveal of this whole operation, where they slowly realize that their lives are about to be completely over, job lost if they have one, just off to the slammer for hopefully years, all because of this mistake. Not even mistake, this choice of coming to this house. Again, we have no sympathy for these creeps because they're losers and they are a scourge on humanity. So yeah, I'm glad they're getting exposed in this show. Let's keep it going.
What happened was, when my cousin came,
Right.
she did the same thing.
When your cousin came, she did the same thing. What do you mean?
What is this?
So I was just as confused by this part as you. Steven walks in and this is his first excuse. I was like, what does this mean? Your cousin came over and did this? Like your cousin also got caught by Chris Hansen? But no, his lie is actually that his cousin was 13 and was messing around with some old guy online, ended up meeting up with him. And when he found out, he was just so disgusted that he vowed to never allow this sort of thing to happen again. So I guess he's trying to flip it initially and act like he is the one trying to do the sting. Like you can't just pull a Uno reverse card and expect it to work on Chris Hansen. You forget that he has pages of your guys' chat logs here that he's about to reference, and that shows clearly what your intent is. You were not trying to be a protector of this decoy. You were trying to directly harm the decoy, and that's for sure.
But the logs of his chat tell a much different story.
And so what is all this talk back and forth between you and a girl you think is 13? You know you're going to shower with me.
You don't get it, Chris. I'm a method actor, and the decoy wouldn't allow me to come over if they didn't think that I was the creep. Like, I'm actually the one that's doing the, like, super important work here of protecting these children. Like, you're just making a TV show, but I actually was definitely gonna save the decoy. I wasn't gonna hurt it at all. Like, how does he think any of us are gonna believe this? I get that he's a total mouth breather, and he clearly just is not that intelligent of a person, but nobody is going to believe this story, dude. Also, this guy does not move his lips at all when he talks, and it just looks like a really dark alternate reality where Napoleon Dynamite, the character, was a real person, graduated high school from his normal like Midwestern high school, wherever that was in the movie, and then just had a rapid decline in his life quality to the point where he became an absolute creep and is now being caught by Chris Hansen. Like, I am convinced this is the real life Napoleon Dynamite if things just went sour after the movie. Like, this is so bad.
Help me to understand what it was that really brought you here tonight. Can you explain to me?
I haven't been the same since when I deployed to Iraq.
All right.
Oh my god. So now we're trying to pry out the reasoning behind his actions here, which is something that Chris does with pretty much every creep that he catches on the show. But this excuse has to be one of the worst that I have heard, because it's taking something that is a true issue in this country, which is PTSD, and those going over to war for this country and coming back with severe mental problems that are not alleviated very easily and can lead to just pretty much a rapid decline in your life quality as a result. And this dude is taking that, something that other people truly suffer with and something that he might actually suffer from himself, but he's flipping it and saying that is the core reason why he was talking to someone that he thought was 13 online and chose to go to their house not knowing it was a sting operation. Like, I'm sorry, that is not an excuse at all. And it's just funny that he thinks he can get away with that and that he can pull the military card, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's just a broken soul. We understand, man. Like, no, dude, you're a creep. What the hell were you doing?
Was it PTSD?
It was just, I don't know, I do have problems sleeping at night.
That's very common for returnees. I get that.
I have problems sleeping at night. I have problems, you know, waking up when I do go to sleep.
Yeah, you might be an insomniac as a result of your service, bro, but again, that just has no link to the actual crime that you're caught here committing. Again, there's just absolutely zero excuse. And I'm gonna sound probably kind of insensitive here, but I don't care if you were literally living a Call of Duty campaign IRL, dodging freaking RPGs with your head as if you were Neo from the Matrix. That sort of thing still does not excuse your actions. In my book, personally, again, everyone will have different opinions on this, there is no justification ever. You could not find a single scenario where I would feel bad for someone that is doing what this guy is doing, which again is talking to a 13-year-old and trying to come over when their parents are not over. And some of these chat logs, this guy was very clear with what he was going over there to do. Things I'm not gonna have shown on this video, obviously, because we don't really need it for the context. We know what he was planning on doing, but it's in some serious detail, let me tell you that. And I just don't buy this whole excuse. I'm not trying to be insensitive to his possible mental health issues, and I do think that this is a major issue with our country when it comes to, you know, providing resources for veterans when they come home. He mentions going through the VA and them not having the best support options, and I know that is a major issue, and I empathize with people who are struggling mentally and cannot get that help when they should be given that help for giving themselves to the country and serving for their country in a war. But yeah, Stephen, this is just not going to work, and unfortunately it's not going to get you out of jail today, especially with how threatening he was in the beginning with the decoy. It just shows this guy has no good intentions at all, and he should not be rewarded with sympathy simply because he served in the military.
Something just goes off inside of my head where I'm fine 1 second, and then this next second I'm having different thoughts and stuff like that.
Oh man, and his excuses are just so lackluster. It sounds like someone who's trying to do a weird Joker cosplay, you know, like the cringy Joker fans that are like, you don't understand true craziness, there's something that just switches in my head. And I go crazy. Like, no, you're just an actual creep, and you have these fantasies that you allowed to cross over into reality, and now you're here facing years in jail and humiliation in front of the whole nation as they see this on the internet and TV. It's not just some switch in your brain. This was a conscious decision to come over here, and again, we got no sympathy for you.
Honestly,
Honestly,
it's my first.
your first time.
First time. Honestly.
The problem with that, Stephen, is that you surfaced talking in a very similar way to a girl named Brittany, posing as a 13-year-old.
And that's right, he has the whole "this was my first time" excuse, just like every other creep on the show, but it's actually shown that he was caught by two of their decoys. You know, they lay out a big net and they have multiple people trying to work angles with these other creeps online, trying to entrap them, not really entrap them, but, you know, talk to them to where they actually meet up and then the show gets filmed. So this guy got caught up in two of those, yet he's trying to claim this was his first time talking to one of these girls. So it shows he's just all over the board trying to talk with girls online probably all day, and this is definitely not his first time, nor is it the first time for any one of these guys that have been on this show so far.
You showed up. After circling the house,
I understand.
you circled the house, you pulled in the driveway, you pulled out, you wanted her to get in the car with you, not even having met. That's a little creepy, I gotta tell you, Steve.
I understand.
And I love that even Chris calls him creepy here. Like, this guy is just not realizing how actually bad this look is. Not only did he show up with possible weapons, he was doing nothing in the beginning but trying to entice the decoy into coming with him, which is just something that I haven't even seen any of these other guys on the show attempt, because that is taking it to another level of like trying to take them away from the home to who knows where once again. Gosh, I think with all these episodes, how bad it would be if this wasn't a decoy, and sadly that situation is playing out every single day, but luckily this show is at least doing their part in taking them off the streets one by one. And it works as a bit of a deterrent, because anyone who's thinking about doing this thing hopefully has it in their head like, oh, what if I run into Chris Hansen, and then might not do it.
I'm Chris Hansen, and this is an investigation called Hansen versus Predator.
I understand.
Is there anything else you want people to know about your situation tonight?
Don't do what I did.
Don't do what I did.
You heard the man, don't do what he did. I don't think any of you were out there considering that though, and if you were, unsubscribe immediately. But yeah, don't do what this guy did, or else you're gonna walk out of the garage swiftly to be arrested by the police, which is exactly what happens to Stephen here, followed by an absolute river of tears. Check this out.
We're gonna talk. You're gonna explain some things to me and get some information from you. Go step by step, okay?
So yeah, it's probably a very long ride for Stephen to the police department where he's about to get questioned, as he absolutely just bawls his eyes out. Absolutely zero remorse from me. Once again, you know, we are just cold-hearted on this series because there is no reason to feel bad for these people. You have to remember what they were trying to do, and he's just crying to try to manipulate everyone into feeling bad for him. I truly think this guy is much smarter than he leads on, and much more manipulative than many of us think. You know, just the way that he was so confident and assertive when trying to get that decoy out of the house in the beginning, it shows that this guy is in control of what he was doing and knew full well what was going on. It's not any sort of PTSD that was leading him here. Nope, he's just a creep and has that as a bit of a plan B or a backup plan of how to excuse this terrible illegal behavior. Quite insane, like I said. I mean, starting out from the beginning, them not knowing if he had the weapon on him, and just the dicey attitude that he had toward the decoy was really creeping me out. So I'm glad they were able to make the switch, even though it wasn't as normal as it is on the show, you know, with all the other episodes, but it still worked out. They got him into the house and questioned him before arresting the guy, which is chef's kiss. I love seeing these guys get caught. It's such a good feeling to see them taken off the streets, and I wish this show could still be going because we deserve to see these guys get exposed. It's great entertainment as well. So yeah, as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching to the very end, and until next time, peace out.